viewers, you're welcome to Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro. My name is Adra Sunday. As you all know, on this program we have various segments. We have the newspaper front page review, then the FPI agenda, where we'll be welcoming someone from the Directorate of Student Affairs. But before we start the newspaper front page review, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro. So starting from the newspaper front page review, we have so many newspapers already. Then I'll be starting with the Vanguard newspaper, where I have the story petrol price hike. That is the kicker there, and the story is Nigerians at breaking point, NLC Atiku won, and that story is on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. Also, on the same newspaper, I have this one just above the nameplate. 100 feared dead in tanker explosion in Niger State, 50 cows burnt. And that story is on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper. And still on the same newspaper, I have this one just beside that story on page 8. Amid economic challenges, FG opens new opportunities with LTC license to UTM FLNG. The story again. Amid economic challenges, FG open new opportunities with LTC license to UTM FLNG, and that is on page 8 of Vanguard newspaper. And still on the same newspaper, we have this one. Canada's students enrollment draws 45% after new study visa cap. Again, jackpot. That is the kicker, and the story is Canada's student enrollment drops 45% after new study visa cap. That one is on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper. And the last one before I move to another newspaper, I have this one on page 6. NDLEA intercepts consignments of cocaine, opioids in sanitary pads, air creams. That is on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper. So let me take you down to the Daily Times, and on that we have this as the major story. Planned VAT increase. Tinubu's government will completely set Nigerians, and that is on page 4. You can pick up the newspaper to read more if you have interest. Another one, page 4. SEC warns against capital market infraction to commence enforcement. SEC warns against capital market infractions to commence enforcement, and that is on page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper. So I also have this one on page 15. Rising prices shrink sales for SMEs, manufacturers amid high inflation. Rising prices shrink sales for SMEs, manufacturers amid high inflation, and the story is on page 15 of the Daily Times newspaper. Also, we have this one. Soldiers at liberty to resign, says army. Rejects claims of mass resignations. Soldiers at liberty to resign, says army. Rejects claims of mass resignation. And that is just above the nameplate. The story starts from the front page and is continued on page 2 of the same newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. We also have this one. With that, I'll be moving to Daily Sun, where I have this one. Sorrow, tears as petrol tanker wreaks havoc. As over 30 persons, 50 cars burnt to death in Niger. 3 die, many injured in Lagos accident. And that is on page 4 of Daily Sun newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. We also have this one on pages 6 and 24 of the same newspaper. Dangote's petrol prices sparks confusion, pushback. Dangote's petrol pricing sparks confusion, pushback. with so many riders. Stakeholders seek transparency. Another one, reconsider fuel price hike, rejig economic team. That is coming through from the media group. And to know more about that story, all of that, pick up pages 6 and 24 of Daily Sun newspaper. That is where the story is. We also have the song from PDP. PDP dead, says Kwankwaso, and that is on page 27 of Daily Sun newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to know more. Also, taking you down through the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, where I have this one. Fayose committee meets stakeholders, and that's page 23 of the newspaper. I have this one. Labour Party meets today, may sanction members who attended Abia convention. The story is on page 22 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Also, let me take you down to the Daily Sun newspaper, and we have this major story on page 4. Sorrow, tears as petrol tanker wreaks havoc, and that has just 2 riders underneath it. Over 30 persons, 50 cars burned to death in Niger, and the last one, 3 died, many injured in Lagos accident, and that is on page 4 of Daily Sun newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. We also have the story on pages 6 and 24 of the same newspaper. Dangote's petrol prices sparks confusion, push back. Again, Dangote's petrol prices sparks confusion, push back, with 2 riders underneath it. Stakeholders seek transparency. And the last one, reconsider fuel price hike, rejig economic team. That is coming through from the media group, and the story is on pages 6 and 24. You can pick up the newspaper for more details. Also on the same newspaper, we have this one. CAN, C&S urge FG to address issues raised by youth during protests. That story is on page 6 of Daily Sun newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more on that story. With that, let me take you to what is happening on the front page of Nigerian Tribune newspaper, where I have this one. Increasing VAT to 10%, we consume Nigerians. That is coming through from Atiku. Increasing VAT to 10%, we consume Nigerians. Says taxes destroying businesses, aggravating poverty, and that story is on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We also have this one on page 23 of the same newspaper. Fayose absent as Ekiti PDP caretaker committee meets stakeholders. That is on page 23 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. We also have this one coming through from Governor Adeleke in Osun. Osun ready for transition to agro-industrial state, says Adeleke, and that is on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Also, we have this one. NDLEA intercepts UK Eurobond cocaine, opioids in female sanitary pads, air cream. That is, NDLEA intercepts UK Eurobond cocaine, opioids in female sanitary pads, air cream. That is on page 27 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. So let me take you down to what is happening on the front page of Daily Independent newspaper, where I have the story. FBN Holdings dispute may scuttle First Bank recapitalization plan. FBN Holdings dispute may scuttle First Bank's recapitalization plan. We just one rider. We are exploring peace options. Stakeholders group assure. And that story starts from the front page and is continued on page 29 of Daily Independent newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. Also, just above the nameplate, Serap gives Tinubu ultimatum to reverse petrol price hike. The story starts from the front page as well, and it's continued on page 7. And beside that, we have this one coming through. That is what is happening in PDP. Kwankwaso is inconsequential in Nigerian national politics. That is coming through from PDP. The story also starts from the front page and is continued on page 6 of the same newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. So we also have this one on page 6. How lack of cargo aircraft retards industry growth by operators. How lack of cargo aircraft retards industry growth by operators. That is on page 6 of Daily Independent newspaper. And still on the same page 6, President Tibun re-elected in landslide in Gas Ridge, Algeria. That is on page 6 of Daily Independent newspaper. So let me take you down to what is happening on the Punch newspaper. So what is happening on the Punch newspaper? Marketers plan petrol import as NNPCL Dangote stocks drag. Marketers plan petrol import as NNPCL Dangote stock drag. Says petrol dealers to meet Dangote over pricing, uncertainty over NNPC's September 15 PMS lifting. And the last one, Ipman laments as NNPC delays supply at depots. Pump price nears 1,250 naira in state. So that is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. So, and the last one on the Punch newspaper, strike. That is the rider, and the story is ASUU government panel to meet Wednesday. ASUU government panel to meet Wednesday, and the story is on page 6 of the Punch newspaper. So quickly, let me take you to the Nation newspaper. What is happening there? We have this one: resident doctors to lose 7 days pay to strike. Resident doctors to lose 7 days pay to strike. No work, no pay. So that is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. That is just above the nameplate. And the last one, what APC will discuss at NEC meeting by party. What APC will discuss at NEC meeting by party. If you want to know that, the story is on the front page of the Nation newspaper, and it's continued on page 2 of the same newspaper. So what is happening on First newspaper? We have this one: Exodus in the ranks. Exodus in the ranks. That is the kicker and the rider. And the story is 196 soldiers file for retirement as concerns grow in military. 196 soldiers file for retirement as concerns grow in military. With just one rider, one rider underneath it. Army refutes mass exit rumors. Reaffirms soldiers' right to voluntary departure. And that story starts from the front page. It's continued on page 7 of the same newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. So quickly, we have the song called Mystery from Kwankwaso. I will win 2027 presidential election, boast Kwankwaso. And that is on First newspaper. You can also pick up the newspaper to read more. We have this report on this Nigerian newspaper. Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina lead in ransom payment to kidnappers. That is the report we are having on this Nigerian newspaper. Zamfara, Kaduna, Katsina lead in ransom payment to kidnappers report. The story is on page 2 of this Nigerian newspaper. And the last one on the newspaper, fuel crisis. Probe NNPC, reverse price. Serap urges Tinubu to check critical situation. And the last one, it could lead to malnutrition. Expert 1. And that is on pages 2 and 20 and 15 of this Nigerian newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. So let me take you to what is happening on our Sporting Sun before we call it a wrap on newspaper front page review today. We have the story on the Sporting Sun newspaper. Super Eagles in killer mode. That is coming through from Eguavon. Super Eagles in killer mode, says Eguavon, as team arrives Kigali ahead of Tuesday cracker. And the one rider underneath is Truth Ekong, Bars coach to lead team to AFCON. That is on page 6 of Sporting Sun newspaper. We also have this one: Pogba lodges appeal with cars. Pogba lodges appeal with cars. That is on page 9 of Sporting Sun newspaper. You can pick up the newspaper to read more. And the last one I'll be picking for today: Haaland in advanced talks over new contract. Haaland in advanced talks over new contract. That is also on Sportison newspaper. And that is where we'll be calling it a wrap on newspaper front page review on Poly TV Ilaro. So we'll be right back. Let's go on a short break. Welcome back. You stay on to Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro. So we are right on the FP agenda segment, and I have with me a representative from the Directorate of Student Affairs in person of Mr. Salako Oluwaseun Adewale. That is the sub-dean 3 of the Directorate of Student Affairs. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's nice having you on the show.
I'm equally happy to be here.
Okay, so we want to discuss about the Student Union Week. We know we are in the week of celebration, and everybody's quite happy in celebration mode. So as the Directorate of Student Affairs, we would like to know the roles and some necessary things put in place by the department. So sir, how has the school been able to ensure that students comply with the school rules during this week?
Okay, thank you. The Student Union Week is a week of a celebration for the students, and the student union leader have a lineup of programs for the students. So for instance, now on Saturday, the program was started with a marathon race. Okay. So on Monday, which is today, we have this issue of a hostel day. Costume. We have a costume, we have a trade fair, and tomorrow now we have some departmental weeks and day, like public admin, mathematization, and some other department like that. And tomorrow is also a rag day. Okay. Where students will seek for money from the community for charity purpose. Okay. So, and on Wednesday is a departmental association till Thursday. Thursday will be
for association.
No, it's association. But there will be no wait. There will be sports final match. Oh. Student Union Cup final will be on Thursday. So on Friday there will be Jumat. There will be association continue, and on Saturday will be grand finale where we have this jing at the pavilion ground. So on how has the school been coping in managing this the week? Well, this year Student Union is not the first of its kind. Yes. So it's a program event in this institution, and the directorate has ensured that we put all machineries in place to ensure success of the Student Week in 2024. Okay.
So we know ordinarily this week students would like to behave the way they like, dress the way they like, and do all of that. So I would like to know, how will the school make them conform to morality during this week?
The students of this institution, as I've said, they are in their week of a celebration, but there's a set down rules and regulation that governs the behavior of students in this campus, and as a result, that rule remains unchanged. So they have the rules, they know their benefits, they know their rights, they know what to do and what not to do. So as a result, they are trying to conform with that rules, so they are not trying to misbehave. And more so, FPI students is globally known to be an obedient and a well-disciplined student.
Okay, so are you saying we don't have cases of tinted ears and putting on of bomb shots, revealing clothes, and co?
No. As I've said, even about last week, Tuesday precisely, there's a memo from the directorate that while they are celebrating the Student Union Week, they should not forget the rules, that they must conform with the student handbook, the rules and regulations there. So now when you see the student, you cannot see anyone with a tinted hair. So,
but it's their week.
Yes, their week. That does not mean they should behave irrational. There is a way we want to differentiate our students from a common man. And putting on a tinted hair does not make you a bad or a good person. But in this school, we have laid down rules, which you know that as a man, you cannot tint your hair. And this week, this Student Union Week does not give them any exemption to that rule.
Oh, so there is no any liberty from the institution
that a man should dress like a woman.
No, not like that.
No. It's not possible.
Okay, so are you saying this week is just like normal weeks, just that there won't be lecture?
Yes, there is no lecture, but the students have the liberty to at least dress a little bit of classroom dressing. For instance, now a guy can be allowed to come to school with a three-quarter.
Okay.
Yes, with all those little adjustment, but they shouldn't dress like tout. So because the certificate is not awarded based on academics alone, based on moral too. And there's also a saying that the way you dress is the way you are dressed. So because they are doing a Student Union Week, does that mean it's dressed like a mad person, whatever? No. And dressing somehow does not make the day better or worse.
Okay.
So they are to conform with the school rules and regulation.
Okay, sir. So, thank you very much. Are non-students allowed to enter the campus either to celebrate or participate in the week?
Yes, to some extent. We have 45 departments currently in this institution. And as a result, majority of the departments, they are to celebrate their week, this Student Union Week, and they are having some invitations, special guests from outside, some from Lagos, even across Nigeria because of our time. For instance, now, last year, we have an instance there where the Speaker of Oyo State House Assembly was here.
Wow.
Yes, I think this year, too, we're having something like that. We want to say it here until it happens.
Yeah.
So we have instances where we have head of parastatals, some professors from other institutions will be coming. So as a result, we cannot say because of the Student Union, we should not allow such an individual to come. The only prerequisite is that the department or the association inviting them must have given this institution a prior notice that, okay, on Tuesday or on Wednesday, we are inviting this person to be our guest speaker. So the school will weigh it, we consider the security implication, and the school will be able to beef up the security because of that person too. Because the person must not come to our school here and something happen. So as a result, we need to have adequate preparation for such. So to some extent, non-students are allowed.
Okay, so then what are the things that the DSA will do concerning bringing in of maybe alcohol, illicit drugs, and all of that?
Alcohol consumption is a forbidden thing in FPI. When you consider the student handbook, drunkenness is tantamount to expulsion or escape for 2 semesters or so. As a result, the students are aware that they must not consume alcohol. So if a student should behave irrationally, such students will be taken to the school clinic where the person will be asked to do drug tests. And if the test should test positive, that is just 2 semesters and nothing more. And the issue is that if you are to go on 2 semesters prosecution for drug, when you are coming, you must come with a certificate that you are drug free.
Wow.
So that is it's better you stay off drug than you get involved. Coming out of such is terrible.
Okay.
So the best bet is that you stay off.
Okay, so thank you very much. What are the measures, that's the security measures put in place by the Directorate of Student Affairs?
I can boldly say that in this institution, there's a cordial relationship between the institution and other security agencies like the police, the civil defense, the DSS, the NDA, LDLEA, the road safety, even the local ones like the Amotekun, the SOSAVE, the OPC, the Vigilante Group of Nigeria. So as a result, there is this security relationship between the institution and those security agencies. As a result, immediately the week is forthcoming, we took advantage of that relationship to build up security, not only on campus, even around the town. I can tell you that anywhere our students will be during this Student Union Week, they are safe because we have people, even on campus presently, we have the DSS around, We have the police on campus, though they are in mufti. You may not know. Yes. So immediately a student misbehave, then the student will know, oh, I'm in trouble. But I want to believe that the student will not misbehave.
Okay, okay, thank you. I would like to know, is there any involvement by the management to the week?
The management of the institution has been showing a lot of support toward the success of the Student Union Week. For instance now, the trade fair is ongoing at the Pavilion Ground. That place is given to them free.
Okay.
You know, the issue of electric power supply in this area. The management power that area. When you go there now, they see that they are playing music. There's a light there. And today, they are celebrating Hostel Week. So at the Auditorium 1, you see the hostel light there. They are enjoying themselves. They don't pay a dime for such. And provision of security is something.
Okay.
So the school will ensure that during this week, there is at least power supply to some extent to support those associations to have a very merry celebration. Okay,
sir. So we do have this rag day of a thing whereby the students can go to any state, any community they like. Is there anything like any provision made by the institution?
Thank you. Tomorrow will be the rag day for the Student Union Week. And let me say, you cannot go to any state. You cannot tell me a student is going from Ogun State now to Delta State.
But people do go to Lagos.
You can only go to neighboring states.
Okay.
You can only go to neighboring states. Like Lagos.
We are in Ogun State already. You cannot go to Oyo.
You can go to the close Oyo, the close area in Oyo. You cannot go to Oyo town from here. You cannot go to Oyo town from here. So you can only go to nearby towns or states.
Okay.
So you cannot go far because the activity is supposed to last for just one day.
Okay.
So, and for that now, the institution has made provision for free transport. The shuttle bus will take people from the shuttle park to Papa free of charge.
What time? Like?
I think from 6 a.m.
Wow.
And they bring them back by 6 p.m.
Okay, so they will go there and wait for them.
Yes, the bus will take them to Papa at about 3 or 4 batches. Wow. And wait for them there to bringing them back in batches too, free of charge.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And lastly, I would like you to give your final words either to the students, to the association leaders, and all.
Let me say this. Some students are of the opinion that during this Student Union Week, they are not allowed to do as they wish. But you should also consider the other aspect of it. Because you dress anyhow and you are going home and you are harassed or assaulted or you are even raped. So will it be because of a celebration of a week? So, and in what they are doing, I want to tell them that they should celebrate with modesty.
Okay.
So they should not be carried away, and they should know that in the next 2 weeks, the exam will be here.
The real celebration is coming up next 2 weeks.
Yes. So, and you cannot just celebrate Student Union, you celebrate blah, 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 and the next 2 weeks, you enter all, you cannot write anything down. And that's the second semester. And then student on probation.
Uh-oh.
In the last semester or in this semester, we will have to go to FPI. Do you know FPI? That is Federal Polytechnic Ileyin.
Oh! That is funny. Thank you very much, sir. It's nice having you on the show.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still Poly TV show on Poly TV Ilaro, and we just had a nice session with the Subdean 3 of the Directorate of Student Affairs. We spoke about the Student Union Week and everything we need to know about the week, about the security measures and all. So I hope you all will comply with the rules so that you won't end up going for 2 semester. And that is where we'll be calling it a wrap on the show today. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, share, turn on the notification button for updates. My name is Adura Agbemi Sunday. Bye for now. Join us tomorrow for another episode.